What's up, everybody? This is Dave from Dave's E-Bikes, and today we are going to be doing a range test on the Kingbull Hunter 2.0. For this range test, we've started with a fully charged battery at 54 volts, 54.2 I believe it was. We're going to see just how far it can get us. For this range test, we're going to keep it in pedal assist level 3, which should average us somewhere around 18 miles per hour. I've decided to change up our location a little bit, and we're going to do this range test in the Outer Banks, North Carolina. So in pedal assist 3, this gets us somewhere around 20 miles an hour. Now we do have some stops and starts along this route just because of some intersections that will be coming up. We'll also be using the 60% rule, which is if we get far enough out here to where we've used 60% of the battery, I'm sorry, 40% of the battery. Once 60% of the battery is left, we'll be turning around to come back. Because typically the second half of a battery does not last as long as the first half of the battery. So in our case, once 40% is done, we'll turn around and hope to get back home with the leftover 60%. So as you can see, it is a nice, sunny, beautiful day here in the Outer Banks. They have some great biking and walking paths for you to use. We'll be monitoring our distance for this ride right down here, and I'll map it out on a route planning program to show us exactly how far we've got. So I think what we'll do is I've got our voltage meter up. What I think we'll do is when that voltage meter reads somewhere in the vicinity of 46, we'll turn around and head back. So we'll take this ride, and I will check back in with you. All right, we're just passing 3 miles here. Let me tell you a little bit about this Kingbull Hunter 2.0. It is a fat tire, a huge fat tire, 26 by 4 inch tires, electric bike, 750 watt motor, 1000 watt peak. The saddle's actually not too bad. It's okay, the built-in saddle. Sometimes you hit a lot of these bumps here, like these little cracks and stuff. The big tires can pretty much handle it for the most part. However, for a lot of this, it will longer rides. You're going to start to feel it a little bit. So, like I said, for this test, we are doing pedal assist level 3, which in this bike is averaging somewhere around 18 to 19, maybe 20 miles per hour. This bike has a nice compact aluminum frame. So while you do get some toe overhang on some wide turns, the frame is only 60 pounds without the battery, which is very nice. All right, so as we approach 5 miles, let's talk about the range expectations. So typically on pedal assist 3, 750 watt motor, I forget exactly what Kingbull is saying that they can get from this. I think it was somewhere in the range of 20 to 30 miles. Throttle only, pedal assist level 3. But you have to remember, anytime you see these theoretical ranges, not only are there range tests based typically on flat, level ground, but it's also a rider who weighs somewhere in the vicinity of 180 pounds. Well, if you followed my channel for any point in time, you know that is not me. I am a slightly chubby fella who weighs in approximately 300 pounds, just under 300 pounds, more like 295 or something. But still, let's just round it to 300 pounds. I am 6 foot tall. And we are riding, as you can see, on mixed level terrain that is not perfectly flat. So, we're gonna see how close those theoretical ranges get to actual reality. And that's why we do these tests. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it 8 miles. And 8 miles, unfortunately, is the end of our bike route because it starts the 4-wheel drive beach. Which then means we would be riding on the beach on the with 4-wheel drive vehicles, and that is not for us. So we are at 8 miles, and we are actually going to turn around now, even though we are still at 49.9. So we're actually doing really good for that theoretical range. And where my assumption is we're going to get around 20 miles, but let's keep going. Let's see what we can do. I'll stop in and have a little chat with you once we get to 10 miles. All right. I'll give you a little view of the sound as we hit 10 miles. Took a little detour here. Woo! Just some muddy water here. So as we hit 10 miles, I took you on a little tour of the Corolla Lighthouse Park. The lighthouse, I'm going to try to point you over here as we can see it. There's our lighthouse up there. Hopefully we got a shot of that in the distance. Go ahead. And that person did not stop at the stop sign that's right there. And that is why when you're riding these bikes, always keep an eye out, because people are definitely not paying attention to you. All right, so we are back at it. Now here's one thing I did notice. So we are now down to 3 bars of our battery bar. We're also at under 50 now. We're at 47.7. This is normally where I probably would have turned around anyway. But one thing I am noticing, we've been riding for 42 minutes, close to 45 minutes now. And one of the things that I am noticing is there's been a lot of stop and go, or at least slow down and go, because of these little intersections. So on these slow down and goes, I have noticed that the throttle start, meaning your little pickup as you start getting going, has slowed down a little bit. We're not getting up to speed as fast. So I've noticed that the throttle up, getting back up to speed, is taking slightly longer, which does happen after a battery gets lower. But we are still getting up to speed as we go through these little windy pathways. We're still getting back up to that 18, 19 miles an hour. Such a beautiful day that there's a lot of people walking out here. So we got to be a little careful on these paths as we round some of these bends on top of these little intersections here. All right, so as we approach 15 miles, we are doing pretty well on battery. We still have 2 bars left. 46.4 volts left, or the voltage, I guess I should say, is 46.4. We've been riding for 1 hour, and we are actually getting back to our starting point now. So we'll be turning around and riding around a couple of these little communities to see if we can push it to 20 miles and see what we can get. I will tell you that after 15 miles, my hand is cramping a little bit. I believe this bike has a cruise control. I'll have to figure out what that is. Little corgi for Lisa right there. I'll have to figure out what the cruise control setup is for some of these tests, but as of right now, we're looking pretty good. 15 miles, 47 volts. I believe these get down to 39 or 38 would be the dead battery. So yeah, so we'll continue this test and hopefully I'll check in with you 20 miles. All right, so we've now hit 20 miles. 20 miles of range, throttle only, pedal assist 3. You have a 300-pound rider, 6 foot tall, with this 750 watt motor, which definitely draws more because it has been cruising at a pretty average 19 miles an hour up until we started going into some of these little neighborhoods here to try to see how far we can get. And she's still getting up there. We're not quite averaging the same. It's taking a lot longer to get to. It's taking a lot longer to get to that 18, 19 miles an hour cruising speed. However, the battery is still going strong. So we do a little cul-de-sac here. We are at 44.9 volts. We've been riding for about an hour and 20 minutes. And we have gone 20 miles. So we're cruising. We're cruising. Let's see how much further we can get. So I'm going to turn around here. Let's go down this road. It's probably dead end. All these little roads are dead ends. So now our goal is going to be to see if we can get more than 27 miles. 27 miles was the lectric XP3 long-range battery, which was a 14.6, I believe, amp hour battery. This is a 15.4 amp hour battery. So let's see if on a 750 watt, which is definitely more powerful, if we can get actually more range out of this battery. The lectric XP motor is a 500 watt motor. So you would assume that the range on that 500 watt motor, 14 amp hour, should be a lot more. But we shall see. We are cruising around now with 43.9, somewhere around that voltage. Hour and 22 minutes and 21 miles. All right, we're at 25 miles, throttle only. We're cruising around here, some of the different little neighborhoods, getting some of the sights. All right, folks, well, that seems to be about it. We got 25.5 miles out of the 15.4 amp hour battery that comes with this Kingbull Hunter 2.0. I apologize, my GoPro died right at the end there, but we were able to get the we were able to get 25.5 miles. The big tour bus that just passed me, so. We were able to get 25.5 miles on this Kingbull Hunter 2.0 fat tire e-bike, throttle only, 300-pound rider on non-flat surfaces. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe for more. Stay tuned, we'll be doing our accessories video next for this Kingbull Hunter 2.0. And this has been Dave with Dave's E-Bikes. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.